Hey everybody, Fishlottie here with Fish Review. Today I've got this Marineland Emperor Pro 450 filter. Been wanting to do this one for a while. I haven't messed with it yet. I'm just unboxing and setting it up, and then we'll take a look at it and see how it works. Let's get it out of the box here. It's an interesting filter. It's a beast. It's huge. We've got to slide it out. Take the box and throw that away. And we've got rubber band on it holding some instructions on. Looks like an addendum, like they forgot something. So, yeah, it's just telling you to be careful with the power cord and make sure it stays in the right place and all this stuff, because it probably is easy to get it messed up. So, here's some instructions. Get this rubber band off of here. Shoot, that didn't work. Just take that, shoot it across the room. Cardboard. Twist tie. I like to take these off, get rid of it. All right, there we go. Opened itself. Inside we have all the normal stuff. I've had Emperor filters for years. I really like them. I've got a Pro 275. I think that's what it was. I did another video on one of these, and it did not have these spray bars. The spray bars are critical to these filters, to making them really good. The Biowheels, I love Biowheels, but the thing that you hate about Biowheels is that they like to stop like that. And it didn't work so good. Let's set that aside. Hey, that lid pops off easy. Set that aside. So these Biowheels, these have a lot of biological capacity in them. They're a wet-dry filter type setup where there's lots of oxygen, lots of ways for the beneficial bacteria to break down the stuff in your tank. And if they stop spinning, of course, they don't do that. With the spray bars on a filter like this, they just don't stop. I mean, I think it's probably almost impossible. Now, I haven't worked with this filter yet, so we'll see. But I do like that it has spray bars. They come off. It looks like it's just a slot that sprays out. The old ones had a bunch of holes that would spray. Of course, they would clog up sometimes. So this looks like it's pretty easy to clean. I like that. It just gives some added flow onto those wheels. So that's cool. So we take the Biowheels out. So we can set this so it doesn't fall over. Inside, you see they've got everything. So here we go. Get the paper off this wheel. Get that out of the way. Get that off this wheel. Get that out of the way. Okay, set them aside. We don't want them to get crushed or anything. Inside, you guys need to stay. Okay, inside, there's two of these containers where you can put carbon or other biomedia if you can fit it in there. It's got kind of a small area. It's also got a 2-pack of filters for the filter, like filter media, filter pads. And we have an extension tube. We have an intake strainer. And we have a mid-level intake for up higher. Okay, so now that's all that was inside here. Take this the mid-level intake, top-level intake, put it up on top. This tube snaps right into it like that, and then this will snap to the bottom of it. Now this is extendable, so you see, you can hear it going click. You usually don't want to be on the very last click of one of these if you can help it, but you know, you could, I guess. So that would let you go to a fairly deep tank. I don't know where this will end up. I'll put it somewhere in the middle for now and assume that I want this open. Of course, you can close it, which is nice. If you don't want that there, it's optional. And you could even take it out if you want it even shorter. It doesn't have to be there. This would plug into the filter just the same as this would, and it would fall apart real easy too. There we go. All right, so stick that on there. Okay, now, here in the filter, let's take this apart so you can see how to take it apart when you go to clean it, okay? As I showed you before, these spray bars would pop off. We'll just pop them off for fun. I don't know. You can see that. And now, right here, you see there's a part here. It might be hard to see, but you grab this and squeeze it, and it's gonna slide out like that, okay? Now, just like the 275, this has a media basket in it, which, it's interesting. Here you've got the place to put the carbon, or you could put small media in this. But what's the nice thing about these filters, and I really didn't understand this when I did the video on the 275, I didn't really think about it. You can put a lot of biological media in here. You could do like a C-Chem matrix or some other small ceramic media or something like that. Anything that would stay down in here and that would fit nicely. Something small. The big bio balls would be too big, right? But you can fill this basket with media. What I have found on the 275 is that if you neglect the filter, which I don't know, I get a little busy, I'm sorry. If you don't clean it often enough, this can kind of clog up with mulm and gunk, right? So you should be cleaning the filter out once a month, no matter what, I would say. I mean, maybe if your tank's not that heavily loaded, you'd go longer, but you don't want that to get clogged up because then nothing's working right and something terrible could happen to your fish. So also has this rubber piece in here. It sits in the top. This is supposed to be to dampen the vibrations from the pump. And so make sure that stays in there. So you could put your media in here. You can put it back in. I may have some media around here I'll throw in before we're done. Also, we have the motors, quite large on this unit compared to the 275. So to get it out, you twist it that much and then you just pop it out. I'm just going to take a look at what they're talking about with the cord. So the cord, this is all black and hard to see probably. Let's get it in the light. Okay, so the cord is traveling down along through here. Get it right there. The cord's traveling here and along down through this. So that way it's going up over the back of your tank and out. So you just make sure the cord's routed correctly. When you do want to clean these, I think you would want to check the impeller and such. There's the impeller on the bottom of this unit. And just pop that off like that. Impeller has a little rubber cap that you don't want to lose. So if you want to take the impeller out, you got to take off this little gray rubber cap right there. Okay, you gotta pop that off. It's on there. Not too bad there. It wants to fly. It's rubber. Okay, now this has a purple impeller. So the color has to do with the size of the impeller if you ever had to replace it. So I imagine the replacements are probably purple as well. So you'd always want to clean this magnet. I say it in all the videos, but maybe you haven't seen the others. Clean this magnet off, clean the fins, make sure there's not a bunch of moss or plants or rocks wrapped in here. And then if you can get a little brush in here, you probably don't have to in this one, and there's really not clearance. But if you had a tiny brush, you could brush it out in there. That would be good for it. And also, these things here, this area here, if you don't clean it very often, this could fill up with some junk. So just sweep it out. Make sure, maybe take it to your sink, rinse it, but watch out what you do because you got a power cord here. Put that back in, put this rubber cap back on, take this bottom part and snap it back on. Just snaps on like that, but see, got to get it on both sides. So just do that, make sure it's on all the way around. It is. Put that back on like that and give it a twist. It's on there real good. Real simple setup, has also nice rubber in here to dampen any noises. And that is what's in there. Obviously, we've got these filter pads, which we need to rinse out before we use them. Shake any loose carbon, get rid of that. So these are the Rite Size E pads they've had for years. These haven't changed since I can possibly remember. So they're fine. You can usually rinse them out several times before this blue stuff disintegrates. They would go in here like this in the back slots. Okay, so there's a front slot, where this is the front of it. There's a front slot and a back slot in here. These would go in the back slot with the blue facing to the back. And if you're using these, you want to put carbon or other stuff in here, they're going to go in the front slot. The idea being you want the water to be filtered before it goes through these so that this doesn't clog up. So that's easy enough. So we put them in like that, and those would be in there. And then we put this back on. This round part was towards the front, in case you've forgotten. Got to put the basket in first, or it's going to be kind of ridiculous. So which way does it go? It goes that way. So the longer side of it faces the front. Do that. Put that in there like that. Put this on here with the round part towards the front. Just kind of put it down nicely into those rubber little things there. Make sure they don't go crazy. Okay, it also has a dial on the front. You can increase or decrease the flow. It's a real easy to use dial. I appreciate that. Some of these filters are really hard to turn, especially if your fingers aren't working so good. Sometimes mine don't. So you can turn that down to low, and then high is up here. It's got a little gauge on the front. So we put these spray bars back on. Make sure the slot is going to face the bio wheel. Put them on. Put that on like that. And then the bio wheels have to be down in the little purple slot things. Now I'll tell you too, take a look at that there. Can you see these? These purple, they're right here, little purple things here. They will slide out. If you have to take them out, you can pop them out. Pretty sure, yep. See, this is not changed in years. Those will pop out, don't lose them. you could clean those up real good. If they get like calcium deposits or gunk in there, it's going to make your wheel not want to turn right. So keep those clean, keep the shafts of the Biowheels clean, and don't do anything to the Biowheels. Don't replace them, don't clean them. I guess if you get hard water deposits on them, maybe someday you have to replace them because they're going to gunk up so bad you couldn't use them, but it depends on your water, right? So you put them in here like this. They're meant to just stay there. Okay, this is in the way a little bit. Get that in the purples, make sure it spins good. Just like that, there we go. There we go, they're all spinning freely. That's what you want. Okay, now that's really all there is to it. You could turn these spray bars a little bit to adjust which way the water's hitting on the wheels and adjust the flow and the spin rate of those two. If you get them going real fast, if you hit it just right, you know, you can make them spin fast, it'll fling water off. You don't want that. So then the cover is a real simple one-piece cover. This just sits on here like that. And that's all there is to it. Now, I got this mail order, so guess what happens when you get it mail order and they just ship it in the box with not much packing material, a little scuffed up. It's going to be on the back of the aquarium, that's okay. So, this doesn't have any leveling devices on it. These pads are fixed on here. These don't change. I don't think you can even take them out. And that is what there is to it. So what I'm going to do is I will take the lid off. I have to take these out into the house and rinse them. I'll be back. And I'm going to look and see if I have some biomedia to put in this cage. And I may throw that in there as well. Okay, so I did find that I have a box of Chem Matrix. And I'm crossing the streams here. It's not a Marineland product, but I like this stuff. I've got it in my tidal filters. So what I'm going to do is pop this out of the way, get this basket out, and show you what we can do with the basket. Let's lay this so it doesn't fall. Okay, open this stuff up. I'm going to be putting this filter on a 55-gallon aquarium. I have this nice little pouch of Matrix here. It's in a zipper bag. Oh, it's really dustier than I thought it would be. Gonna have to rinse this stuff off. Okay, I cleaned up that mess. This was really dusty. I thought it would be better than that, so I didn't even pre-rinse it. Okay, so take this little rubber thing out of the way. I don't think this will fit in the bag like this. See, that's not gonna... If you could do it, I suppose, I could be creative. Let's just see. You would not want to do that. Okay, so this isn't going to fit in here in the bag, so I would take it out of the bag. The bag's a really nice bag, so in a tidal filter, you just throw it in like that. I just want to try it, so we're going to try it. Maybe if the folks at Marineland don't like this, I'm sorry, but send me some of your media and I'll do a video of that. Okay, so let's just dump it in here. I think it's going to be a good fit, really, I do. Get that last bit, come on, up, there we go. Okay. Ooh, it's a little much. It's a little more. If I tamped it down, I'm going to have to just not quite put all of it in there. I want to leave some space, okay? I don't want this to be obnoxious in the future. You got to leave a little bit of space. I could put a few more in here, right? But you leave a little space so this can fit in nicely. Put that back like that. Now this is full of that stuff. So lots of biological capacity on this thing. Between that and the Biowheels. So remember, put this back in like this. Pop this guy back on here like that. It just kind of squishes. Really not, I don't like that. What I think you really want to do on these is put this rubber thing on here first. Otherwise, it's not real satisfying the way that goes in there. That way you can slide it down in and make sure the front goes in securely. Give it a good push. And now I feel better about the way that's fitting. Otherwise, there was almost a gap. And I think that would cause a problem. And I think that's causing a problem on my other filter that's in a place where it's really hard for me to see what's going on. So, lesson learned. There you go. That's all there is to it. I'm going to put these filter pads. They've been rinsed to get the carbon dust out of them. Put them in there. So you just got to get them in just right. There's quite a bit of room for them. They go in easily. It's almost too easily. Get that in there. And now we are ready to go. Of course, this will have to be on there. We'll put that on in the tank. It'll be easier. Okay, before I put this on the aquarium, if you like this video so far, if you hit that like button, I'd sure appreciate it, and it'd help you find more videos like this in the future. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. You can find more of our videos in the future as well. I keep saying in the future. I don't know. And if you've already subscribed, really, thank you so much. I appreciate it. We've got over 1,000 subscribers recently, and that was a huge milestone for me and to make sure that I can keep making these videos. So thanks. Now let's put this on the aquarium. Okay, so here we have the filter on the tank. I have removed this thing here for the upper level intake. I took that off because this tank has cichlid sand in the bottom, and I do not want this intake so close to the bottom. These guys really stir it up. You can see here's about a 10-year-old Euprus cat, and he's got another friend in there that I got at the same time. So there's those big guys, there's bunnas and peacocks in here. And so this has to stay away from the bottom, so I'm going to go as short as possible in this case. This filter is so big on a standard 55-gallon aquarium, which is, I don't think it's an unreasonable filter to put on a 55 myself. I've had 2 of these on a 55 before. Fix that Biowheel. Is that the glass lid that I have on here, which is a standard lid, does not let me go all the way back. It's slightly up off the rim. That is fine in my fish room. You might not like it in your house. So I don't know what you'd do there, I guess. I usually when this happens, I just live with it. But just a little note, it does cause a little bit of a fit problem there. I suppose you could get a custom piece of glass made, but putting those back in these plastic hinges is a bear. I am going to plug this thing in now. The filter does not need to be filled with water ahead of time. You just plug it in because the motor is in the water, and you can see that minimum water level, so don't let your tank get lower than that, by the way. I know sometimes people let the water level drop. Don't let it drop below that if you're letting the water evaporate. I like to keep them full above the rim here myself. I will plug this filter in and we'll see it start for the first time. Boom. That was fast. Wow. Those things are moving. Holy cow. So if I turn this back, I'll go a little slower. This is floating because there's nothing in it. This gray container. So I'm going to turn this one as well to slow that wheel down a bit. I don't want them flying. This is kind of interesting. Can you see that? There's a little drip around this control thing. I mean, it's dripping into the aquarium, so it's okay. Kind of weird. Maybe over time that would stop because of whatever gunk builds up in there, but maybe it's just doing it temporarily. Keep that on high. So there we go. I like it. This thing got turned. Well, it's kind of loose. That's why it just turned itself. I don't know if I know what to think about that either. It's pretty... They're just going to do whatever it wants to do in there. It's not going to stay straight. It's going to probably annoy some people. So then we just want to make sure we pop the lid on it. It just sits in there. I wish it was clear. I wish I could see inside of it like the old ones. So I have to go on faith that these wheels are spinning or just pop it open and look. So, you know, there's good and bad. This is mostly good, mostly nice improvements, I think. So we will see what time will tell with this one. I also want you guys to see this. Look at how much flow, how much surface agitation there is from this filter. That's really wonderful. That's going to put a lot of extra oxygen in the water. I know I got a lot of air in here, but I've got backup air filtration. So if you didn't have all those air stones going, like I do, this really is a good way to keep the surface of the water moving, keep lots of air in the tank for your fish so you don't have a big old oxygen crash and have them turn up dead one morning. I decided to take the media from my top fin filter that I was taking off this tank for now and put it in these containers here so that I wouldn't disrupt my biological filtration. I do have another filter on the tank, but don't want to take that chance. And as you can see, it fit nicely in there. There's even a little bit of room left over. So if you think I missed anything or have any questions, put them in the comments below. I try to answer as many as I can, and maybe I can answer or somebody else can. So we'll run this filter for a while and we'll see how it does, and I'll let you know in the future with a follow-up video. Until then, remember everybody, keep it fishy and have fun. Thanks.